Hello, this is Positive Vibes Enterprise. I am Tom Goodwin. This is Michelle Ronquillo.
Hello, everybody.
And the subject today is zombie apocalypse. And that's kind of scary vision, isn't it? But,
Some people like it. The Walking Dead fans. Woohoo!
well, there's an attraction to it, and it might have something to do with the state of the world. It's sort of like a release of certain energies that people are picking up on in this world. That it's
Yes.
kind of scary the way things are going, and people are buying in. That's a way of venting the energy, you could say.
Yes, and we're talking about a spiritual zombie type of mentality. We're just going along with the flow and not really thinking about anything, just being there.
And it's sort of like when I mean, I could see how a lot of people would think that um, that there could be a scary future with a whole bunch of mindless, conforming, zombie-like human beings
Right.
creating all kinds of havoc. That's a pretty bleak picture. I tend to see the humanity in people, and I don't tend to take it
Yes.
to that kind of magnification. I have hope for a better future than that, but a lot of the religions that are out there tend to have that kind of vision of where things are going, and um, we can always do better. We can always make this a better world. We do not have to see things in such bleak terms.
Yes, exactly. And then when you're in a state of you're looking around in the world and you see people just following orders or just getting by with the spiritual energy that they don't even have enough to put into themselves, and they just start following just different patterns of what people are saying. Those are the zombie type spiritual energy we're talking about, the stagnant. We need to get the energies going with independent thinking, with strong thoughts of self and motivation and courage and bravery and researching. And now that I'm on, for instance, now that I'm on this juicing um, path in my life, I go to the grocery store and notice all those things that is there, but only a handful is really good for you to eat. And so when you start coming out of a zombie state mentality of just doing what society has done or what certain people have said to do, and then you're starting to really think about it, you become awake and you break that zombie mentality of follow and stagnant.
And there's a lot of the diet we have today. I guess one of the things that tend to cause all the Alzheimer's and senility and so forth in earlier and earlier in people, and it seems to be more and more, has to do with people over consuming sugar
Yes.
and taking too many medications and drugs and stuff like that. And and of course, our brain can actually produce all these pharmaceutical elements that can do amazing things. So
Yes.
what we need to do is get control of our own brain, not have the brain being controlled by all these outside elements, because
Right. Research.
the brain can do amazing things, but we can't be numbing it with all this overindulgence in doing things that are not in our best interest, but because they feel good, um, people do them. And it's not, what we need to do is figure out what is the healthiest and best for us and feel good because we're healthy, not feel good because we're numbed and drugged.
Right, exactly. And then also, you have to push through the mundane where, you think that all the energy you have is to just go to work and come home and do the normal things. When you go outside yourself, you're breaking your own zombie apocalypse. You're moving towards awakening different new areas that you might have not ever known that was there. And the only way to do that is to reach inside yourself and literally wake up those senses inside of yourself and start walking. what you want to start feeling, and the extra energy, and then like Tom says, it overflows, and then we can get a movement going, and people won't follow patterns just because someone else is. You're going to beat to your own drum. You're going to reach out and find new innovative ways to change the world spiritually, and not feel like you have to go exaggerated into a certain mindset.
Um, the thing is, there are routine jobs that need to be done in this world, and there's work that needs to be done. But one does not have to be, one can have a routine job and still be developing spiritually, and then the routine job won't be routine anymore
Right.
because you're going to see things and notice things that are different, and then you'll probably move on to something more imaginative, more invigorating, more
More
exciting
passionate. Passion.
as you become more alive and more
Yes.
revitalized, because like attract like. So once you get your energy going, new opportunities will come your way.
All the time when you open those doors for yourself inside, doors open on the outside. Law of attraction, things come in and you can move forward. But the stagnant spiritual energies, you have to push through into habitual daily routines. It's very
Well,
important.
daily routines are important, and if you're really tough spiritually, the daily routines are not going to be that much of a struggle for you to handle. You'll be very readily able to handle work energy of all sorts. So there's certain routines that have to be done, things that have to be
Yes.
maintained in this world, and you have to have the toughness to be able to put a certain amount of your time into that and not have it be too much of a chore because you just don't have the strength of character to apply yourself to the tedium of dealing with the details and getting it done. But a lot of the problems of this world are exactly that way, though. The problems that need to be solved require a lot of that struggle and tedium and paying attention to detail and moving slowly and being persistent. So that work energy is very
Right.
important, but you can't get buried in it. You have to have a part of you that has a spark to it that is able to make a difference. In other words, go beyond just the work and try to move things into an even better direction than just being locked in to to the routine where it's at the moment, to move the routine into an even more positive direction as to where it's
Yes.
going.
Yes, for sure. And then also, watch out for the pitfalls of dwelling or trying to numb yourself with the delusional reality or a blissful state. I mean, everybody's got a laughing place. I know I do. And it's important to have those outlets to give you those moments of spiritual strength, just a break, just a breath, and go on your way. But sometimes people go too far. They get too set into different mindsets that are numbing tools that will stray you away from what needs to be thought about, what needs to be aware, what needs to be worked on.
Now, I tend to be a straight person when there's
Yes.
a comedy going on. But that doesn't mean that I don't get into comedy every once in a while, because when you start dealing with a world with so much ridiculousness going about, it's kind of hard to keep a straight face when you're watching a lot of the stuff that's going
Yeah,
on.
and laughter is truly the best medicine. Just overindulging, like anything that we talk about, I think that that perception, that giddy perception, or that locked away perception to numb you from the realities and things that you have to get done, it can be very dangerous if you're not aware of how to have just enough. Just a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down.
But you have to understand there are serious problems in this world that have to be addressed, and you
Exactly.
can't be joking about things that are serious. You can joke about things that are ridiculous, that have to do with craziness, that need to be straightened out. You can joke about it because it's so.
Or you can't fix stupid.
Yeah. There are certain things that by joking about, you it's sort of like representing them for what they really are, ridiculous and silly. But you have to have that serious side that's looking at this world and not making fun or jokes about things that really are problems that need to be dealt with and we need to apply ourselves
Yes,
to.
and don't use the numbing tools as an excuse or a way to step up and speak out on these things that are really serious in our society.
And it's so important to have the ability to be spiritually independent and to look at things from a different perspective, and also to be able to see everybody else as being spiritually independent and try to move them
Yes.
more in that direction. Because we're all unique. We're
Right.
not a bunch of zombies or a bunch of zombie fighters, and with a stark, clear-cut distinction. We're all individuals, and if you start dealing with people as individuals and focusing on what they have to give to the world, you will stop having these divisions, these stark divisions in which you have to have violence to find a solution to, because you don't know how to do a humane solution, which is done through understanding and
Yeah,
awareness of what's happening spiritually and how to move it in a healthier direction.
that is a perfect word, humane. There was a psychology research done about where people were getting electrocuted, and the ones that were getting electrocuted were pretending, and the ones that thinking that they were electrocuting them really believed that they were, and their jobs were at stake, their livelihood was at stake, and they crossed 9 out of 10 crossed the line and pushed the button of being inhumane. And then even at the water, and the Indians were treated very inhumanely. We need to come to a spiritual awareness that when it comes to our livelihood or something that is like going on that's going to hurt us, are we willing to look at the compassion and the ability to help someone else and look at the humane, right things to do in this world? And that is not zombie. That is straight thinking out of the box. That is being independent. That is looking at what the universe would want you to do if that was you. And those are the types of spiritual warriors we need in today's society that will break things of injustices and will um, make a difference in this hurting world.
We have to get away from the us against them type mentality.
Yes.
We need to see everybody's humanity as best we can. It is true that when you're trying to move people in a better direction spiritually, that not all people will be open to it, and you might want to blacklist or whatever the ones that are not. But you can't blacklist them. You just keep hoping and praying and everything else that they will eventually reality will come to. They'll get a better picture of reality, and they'll see that they're not heading in the right direction, and that there's a healthier direction for them to move in.
Yes, definitely. And when we are in a spiritual state of awareness of what we are projecting, we can clearly see what others are projecting, contrast if it's healthy or unhealthy, and then we can follow suit, voice out, stand up, and also follow and lead, because it's always captain, co-captain. Take the different hats of the positions of life and let other people lead as you follow, and then you lead as they follow. It's a give and receive.
And the main thing is not to get trapped in these bleak, negative, almost violent type visions that don't really
Yes.
have the picture of the world. Just as, I mean, you want to have a vision that has a bright, and you want to have a vision that's healthy and positive for the future. You don't want to have a bleak one. And when you have dreams, um, what you're supposed to do in dreams is move your dreams into a positive direction and move them into a better direction, whatever dream you have. And that's how you deal with a dream in a positive way. If I'm doing dream
Yes.
interpretation, I'm always interested. Like the dream represents a certain emotions and feelings and what you're picking up spiritually. And sometimes the energy is not the most wonderful energy, but it's up to you to be constantly transforming the energy you're picking up spiritually into a more positive energy. And that's what you're supposed to do in the dream. You're supposed to take that energy in the dream and move it towards a better solution. That doesn't mean that you're going to necessarily have the best ending to the dreams or anything, but it just means that it's going to have moved in a positive direction during the course of the dream.
Yes, and that works for your frustration. That works for any of your emotions that are negative. Flip them over to the positive. Transfer that what you are going through into something that will work for you in reality-based present moments.
In other words, you apply your mind power, which you should be doing the meditative training and all that tough spiritual training, develop more willpower and more mind power, and then you use it in your dreams, and you transform your dreams. And since your dreams represent your connections with other people, you'll also be influencing other people even when you're sleeping. And when you're
Yes.
awake, you'll be doing the same thing whenever you're communicating with people, because you'll pick up on their vision and you'll automatically be communicating in a way as to move their vision in a more positive direction if you're trained properly. If you're not trained well enough and you don't have the best spiritual theories, then maybe you're the one that's going to have your vision improved by the person you're with. Maybe it'll go the other direction on you, which is always good if you find, oh, I didn't know that, but I seem to be going in the wrong direction. Thank you for straightening me out. I always appreciate that. Because you can't have that attitude, that's too self-righteous. You always have to understand the coin can always be flipped on you at any time. And we live in a very tricky world where things aren't always that simple to figure out. But there's always a certain amount of enigma or puzzle to everything.
Yes, definitely humble, grateful for what you have, and keep that ego in check.
Well, this is Positive Vibes Enterprise. The subject today was the zombie apocalypse.
Yes, use your mind. Mind is a muscle. Use your brain.
We appreciate everybody watching, and we wish people would spread the word about us, because we're not doing this just for a joke.
Yes, and we're glad you're all here with us watching.
We're really serious about what we're trying to do.
Rev it up, let's go.
So thank you very much, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. Thank you.